There are a lot of franchises represented in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. With each of them come several references to their home series in the form of movesets for characters, Easter eggs, and many other things. With so many things to reference, however, sometimes a few things are actually incorrect or inaccurate to a game's home series, and these inaccuracies are what we're going to be focusing on today. Welcome to the third episode of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Inaccuracies and Inconsistencies. In this series, we go through some things that might be considered inaccurate to a game's home series. It's best to understand this concept with an example. Mario's famous alternate costume based off his look from NES Open Tournament Golf actually has the wrong color used for his shoes here. They're normally brown, however in Smash they're significantly more red than in any of the other Mario costumes. So that would be an example of an inaccuracy. Big thanks to Daniel from the comments for pointing this out to me. Also, I don't really like to cover stuff like Mario shooting fireballs even though he doesn't have a fire flower. This is just because I wouldn't call this inaccurate since it was just implemented so that Mario could have his most iconic power-up in his moveset. For this reason, movesets are hardly touched in this series since a lot of the times it's either for balance or to be able to create a moveset for a character. However, there are a few exceptions I did decide to include for this episode, which we'll see later on. The other type of facts I cover in this series are inconsistencies. Things that aren't technically wrong, but are just inconsistent. For example, the Zombie and Enderman are the only two fighters in the game to not have any fighter spirits. Even Alph and the Koopalings have them. They still do have normal spirits, just not fighter spirits, which would make them inconsistent from other fighters. So now that we've got a general idea of what the series is about, I just want to make it clear that these things are just meant to be fun facts and are in no way meant to be hate towards the Smash team or Smash in general. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and maybe even subscribe for more content like this. But with that out of the way, let's jump right into the third episode of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Inaccuracies. Now since Steve had just released for Smash Ultimate, and I've been a huge fan of Minecraft for years now, a lot of these inaccuracies are going to do with Minecraft since it's easy for me to notice. Now an obvious one is that the sand that Steve can place down doesn't fall like it does in Minecraft when placed in the air. However, I don't really think this is fair to call inaccurate since, like I said before, things like this were just done so that Steve can actually function in Smash. That's why Steve is able to place blocks in the air and mine iron from any surface here, even though he can't in Minecraft. It's just so that he can function in the game. Something that is pretty inaccurate with his block placing though is that he mines cobblestone from the stages, right? But when he places it down, it's normal stone again. In Minecraft, the block you pick up is obviously the one you'll place down. Now, of course, you can get normal stone from just smelting cobblestone. However, you can't do that from a player inventory, and you need a furnace to be able to do that, which Steve obviously doesn't have any access to in Smash. Now, Steve does pick up oak logs when he mines as well. However, since those can be crafted into planks from the inventory, that makes much more sense. If I were to take a guess, the reason it likely doesn't stay cobblestone is probably just because it would be harder to see the cracks in the block. Since cobblestone is normally cracked by default, it may be kind of hard to see the cracks that appear to signify the blocks are fading away. Or they just wanted Steve to play stone, who knows. Now I did mention that you can get sand, however in the stage builder the sand surface doesn't give you sand. Same goes with the ice surface for, well, ice. Now the reason it does this is because Steve can only have one miscellaneous block per stage. It's either dirt, sand, wool, or ice. So the stage builder has everything set to be dirt no matter what if it was going to be a miscellaneous block surface, which is a bit disappointing. Maybe if there was only one type of surface on the stage, maybe they could allow Steve to get that instead of dirt. Oh yeah, and this one miscellaneous block thing per stage means that the one stage with actual Minecraft wool will actually give you dirt instead of actual wool when you mine it, which I think is kind of funny. Okay, well it's carpet, but it's the same thing. Okay, well while we're on the topic of what Steve can get from some surfaces, there are a lot, and I mean a lot, that don't really make sense at all. I only tested a few stages and surfaces, but here are some that I found relating to what Steve mines on each surface. Turn blocks on the Yoshi's Island stage give Steve stone, which makes sense, however these same blocks only give Steve dirt on the Mario Maker stage. This is extra weird since all of the brick types on the stage also give dirt as well, when they definitely should be giving something relating to stone. Speaking of the Mario Maker stage, the moving platforms also give Mario dirt when they should really be giving him wood for some, and iron for the Super Mario Bros. Variant. Not quite sure what the Mario World one would give him though. The pipes on the stage normally give Steve iron, which makes complete sense. However, for whatever reason, on specific layouts of the stage, it gives you dirt instead. It would make more sense if the stage always gave Steve dirt for pipes, but why only these? Of all the things in this video, this is definitely a mistake. There's no way on earth this was intentional. I guess they just never thought about giving these pipes here the property of giving Steve iron, so they really need to fix that. Anyways, another inconsistent one are the hard blocks on the Mario Maker stage again. Now normally hard blocks give Steve stone, makes sense. However, if you get the variant with a lava pool, then different types of hard blocks will spawn in surrounding the lava. If you use invincibility frames to mine the hard blocks, then you will see that this will actually give you dirt instead, even though these should be the same as the other hard blocks. This one does make a bit more sense than the pipes though, since they probably just didn't think about Steve actually being able to mine these, but still, it's inaccurate. Also, while getting footage for this stage, it appears that the lava here doesn't actually damage you in training mode, which is pretty weird. Alright, the final one for now is that this platform on the Mushroom Kingdom U stage gives Steve dirt when it should clearly be giving him either stone or iron. Also, as a little bonus fact, if you have Stage Morph on, then Steve's blocks will actually be destroyed upon transforming, and the miscellaneous blocks in his inventory will change to whatever the new stage's blocks are. That's obviously not an inaccuracy at all, but I just thought it was a fun fact to mention. Okay, I thought about now would be a good time to take a step back from the Minecraft ones for a little bit to jump into a few more about other franchises. Don't worry, there are much more Minecraft ones to come. Anyways, what do Red, Green, the Wii Fit Trainers, the Robins, the Clouds, and the Miis all have in common that none of the other fighters do? No, it's actually something that's really annoying. It's that these are the only fighters in the game to not have any artwork for their fighter spirits, and instead only use their renders. This is so incredibly weird, and this always kind of annoyed me. Let's take a look at each of these so maybe we can understand why this is possibly done. First off, the Miis I understand only having their renders. They're technically Smash original fighters and don't really have any previous artwork. They could have used their art from the Smash Ultimate banner for their spirits, but I think these three make fine enough sense. Cloud is the next one on the tier list in terms of making sense. Cloud obviously has a ton of artwork from Final Fantasy VII and other titles that are iconic, so why aren't they used here? Well, as many people probably know, Square is horribly restricted with how Smash is able to use Final Fantasy. That's why the series only has 2 songs, no spirits aside from Cloud, and maybe why Cloud's alts are so bland. Square probably didn't even allow Nintendo to use any artwork of Cloud at all for the spirits, which is why, even though Cloud has plenty of references to choose from, he didn't get any artwork here. I do want to mention though that all 4 heroes from Dragon Quest do in fact get their own set of artwork, and they also got plenty of spirits, even though they're from Square. This may be due to them either being more generous with Dragon Quest, or them finally being a little bit more relaxed in general. So maybe someday they could actually add in some spirit artwork for Cloud. Now those 4 were the ones that had at least an explanation. Red, Green, Robin, and the Wii Fit Trainers though? Yeah, they don't really make a lot of sense. Pokemon currently has the most spirits of any franchise, even more than Mario. All of the Pokemon fighters have spirit artwork, so why not these 2? Red and Green have a ton of artwork, and also I always liked this iconic artwork of Red, so why couldn't they have been included? The only possible explanation I could think of is that maybe the Pokemon Company has some sort of restrictions for their human characters. There are no other humans from the Pokemon series to have gotten spirits in Smash Ultimate, so that's the only thing I could really think of. Something that could go against this though is that some humans did in fact get trophies in previous Smash games. Professor Oak and Misty had one each in Melee, Callum and Serena had one in Smash for 3DS along with Professor Sycamore also getting one for Smash 3DS, and Red also had one in Smash 4 even though he wasn't playable. While it's not a lot, they did use some humans in the past, but they could have just gotten more protective over their humans lately, so I'm not sure. It's still really stupid, but I guess that could be a possible reason behind it. The others, I have literally no idea why they didn't use any artwork. Sure, Wii Fit Trainer doesn't have a lot, but wait, no, that's actually a lie. They have a ton because they use them in so many spirits. And if you want to say it's because they wanted to have spirit battles based off the exercises, then fine, fair enough. But both the male and female Wii Fit Trainers have spirits that don't have any battle attached to them, so why not make those their fighter spirits? I don't know, that one's just weird. But the one that makes by far the least amount of sense are the Robins. Fire Emblem has a ton of characters with spirits, and heck, Lucina and Chrom are both from the same game as Robin, and they even have fighter spirit artwork. It's not like Robin has no artwork from the games either. Even if you say these wouldn't work since they're less dynamic or whatever than the other Fire Emblem ones. Well, Lucas and the Ice Climber spirits are both sprites, so yeah, I see absolutely no excuse for these 2. I hope one day they update the game to give some of these actual spirit artwork, but for now, we're just going to have to live with the fact that none of these fighters have any. Well, even characters like Rob do, which is just a photo of a real-life toy. Okay, wow, we talked about that one for quite a while, so let's move back into some more Minecraft ones. Specifically ones focusing around the Minecraft stage, Minecraft World. Which, by the way, is such a lame name. New World or Overworld would have been so much cooler, but whatever, this stage is great regardless. This has 6 variations, which is a ton more than any of the other DLC stages, which definitely makes it my favorite. There are a few things that look off on some of them though, so let's go ahead and run through those. Starting with the Plains variant, as pointed out by David, the Smoker has its front texture repeated on all sides of it, despite having a unique texture for its sides within Minecraft. The wood holding the bell to me looks way too similar to oak as well, when in Minecraft it's usually much darker. I wasn't able to find anything in the birch forest, but I should mention that I'm not counting that the trees are unnatural here, since A, it was done to give the stage the best layout for fighting, and B, I mean you could just make these trees in Minecraft by just building them anyways. Okay, well actually one thing that I'm pretty sure goes for all versions of the stage, but is most obvious here, is that mobs that burn in the daylight will still burn even if they're underneath something, which normally protects them from the sun. Additionally, for the skeleton at least, you can see them just vanish instead of having their normal death animation like zombies do. On the Savannah stage, they actually used the wrong texture for the bottom of the acacia logs. They normally look like this in Minecraft, and here they actually look completely different. If I were to guess, this looks similar to the item frame texture when you put a map inside of it, so maybe they accidentally used that one instead of the correct texture. This is probably my favorite one because it's just so weird. Anyways, the taiga stage has a few things. First off, the side of the path blocks look significantly more yellow than they should when they're normally the same color as the top. The second, more interesting one in my opinion, is that the house here doesn't appear to have a door. I just think that's pretty funny. I mean, sure, it's possible to be made within Minecraft, but I just had to mention it. Onto the Snowy Tundra version, the spruce logs here look way more gray than they should. This may be due to something with the lighting on the stage, but they look really gray when spruce is normally pretty dark. A second thing for this stage is that they actually used the wrong texture for some of the snow grass. This is what grass with snow on top of it actually looks like in Minecraft, which we can actually see used in most of the grass here. In the corner, however, for whatever reason, they seemingly use the original grass texture, except the green is replaced with white. It doesn't even seem to have a snow layer on top of it. The dirt also appears to be a slightly different shade of brown if you look hard enough. Let me know if I'm just forgetting something, but I'm pretty sure this is never seen in Minecraft. Alright, onto the final version of this stage, and the only really weird thing I could find here was that the water here doesn't have an animation and is just stationary. Other things like the torch still move, so I definitely think they could have made the water work. Have fun never unseeing the water just staying completely still, by the way. But that's about it for the Minecraft stage. Obviously this is incredible and my personal favorite DLC stage so far, and none of these are really a big deal. What is a big deal though is that this stage lets you choose which variant you want to play on using button combinations, which makes getting footage here so much easier. Do you all have any idea how long it took for me to get the footage on the Mario Maker stage earlier with it being random? So yeah, I hope they add this for more stages later on. Like how they should add dry bones into the game later on as well. Dry bones for Smash. Back to a few more non-Minecraft facts for now, but not quite moving off of the stages just yet, as we have to look at the origin logo for these. If you didn't know, each stage is whatever game it's from's logo shown when selecting it, so Mushroom Kingdom has the Super Mario Bros. Logo, and New Donk City Hall has the Odyssey logo. And while most of these are indeed correct, a few of them are actually incorrect or just show the series logo when it's clearly from a specific game in the franchise. We went over a few last episode with, for example, Smashville being just classed as Animal Crossing when it's clearly based off of Animal Crossing Wild World. But as for this episode, a ton of people told me that the Dreamland GB stage is clearly based on Kirby Dreamland, but it's just labeled as a Kirby stage in Ultimate. There are probably a few more like this, but since I'm not extremely well versed in all of the franchises in Smash, I can't tell you for sure. Though I'm sure Castle Siege or Colosseum have an actual origin, though again, could be wrong since I know nothing about Fire Emblem, so don't take that one as fact. Another thing about the Dreamland GB stage though that I found on my own is that if you use the gyro-controlled camera after zooming all the way out, you can actually see the black void surrounding the Game Boy, and you can actually see that the Game Boy doesn't have any buttons at all. I think it's pretty neat that you can use the camera to look into the stage's void like this, but I'm just appalled at how inaccurate this Game Boy is without its buttons. Shame on you, Smash Team. That's a joke, by the way, don't need any more angry comments. Now we've got a few minor things to do with two Pokemon's movesets. Now like I said before, I wanted to avoid moveset things since most of them are put into the game for balance or to make the character have a more interesting moveset. These two things though are both minor enough to where if they're changed it wouldn't really make much of a difference, so I decided to talk about them. Now I'm not going to be talking about what moves these Pokemon have, but more so the properties of each of these moves relative to their typing. Pichu's main mechanic in Smash is that he damages himself whenever he uses an electric-type move, since Pichu isn't a professional at charging electricity. So if he uses a move like Thunder Jolt, he'll take damage. However, since his neutral air, for example, doesn't use electricity in any way, he doesn't harm himself there. As pointed out by Thomas though, Agility, which is Pichu's up special, and Skull Bash, which is his side special, both damage Pichu despite not being electric-type moves. Agility is Psychic type and Skull Bash is normal type, so these should deal no damage to Pichu. The other weird typing thing comes from Incineroar, as pointed out by Julian. His up special Cross Chop does fire damage even though it's a fighting type move. Fire damage is barely different from normal damage though. I don't think there's really any difference besides red Pikmin not getting affected by it thawing out iced opponents, and activating bombs like the Blast Box or Lynx Bombs. This was likely given a fire effect just so that it would look more interesting, so this one is pretty much not an issue at all. So yeah, both of these typing things are minor, so I thought that mentioning them was fair enough, because they realistically could be changed without much of a difference to these characters at all, though I'm not even sure if they really should be changed. The last few inaccuracies of this video will once again be based off of Minecraft. First off, Steve's rails are actually separated into shorter chunks than being a full block like they normally are in Minecraft. This was probably done just to make it look nicer though, as I'd imagine going up a curved surface would look very weird with full rails. Alright then, and the final one for this video features Steve's victory screen. And no, not the one that was censored. In Steve's victory screen where he builds a house, every single block he places down makes a sound effect for the wood plank. Take a listen.
Steve wins!
Every block in Minecraft has a sound effect that fits it for when it's placed down, so it should be playing that sound effect for each of them. Now that was the smaller thing about this. The bigger thing about this victory screen though is that the way this door opens is actually impossible. Doors in Minecraft stay on the same block they're placed on whether they're opened or closed. This door opens outward like this when it should be opening towards the house like this. For it to open the way it does in the victory screen, the door would need to have been placed on the stairs. However, you can see that it's clearly inside the cobblestone, so the way this opens is actually impossible. Plus, it is impossible to place doors on top of stairs anyway, so yeah, this victory screen is impossible no matter how you look at it. But anyways, that's it for this video. I know there were a ton of Minecraft facts here, but that's just because I noticed them very easily since Minecraft is the game I've probably played the most. Still though, if you enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more on Smash Ultimate and anything else Nintendo Switch. If you have more inaccuracies for me to cover, let me know in the comments. There were plenty that I didn't cover in this video just because there actually turned out to be way more than I was expecting, so yeah, I have a bunch more saved up for the next episode. I really enjoy making this series a lot, and I'm happy that you all seem to be enjoying it so far as well. I'm sorry for also uploading a little bit less lately, but I'm more busy at the moment, however I should be able to bounce back to my rate of one video or so per week. Anyways, links to my Twitter and Discord server are in the description. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.